Hey, I was asked a great question the other day. Can I get fat off my tummy, specifically off my tummy? Which basically leads to the question, can I spot reduce fat off my body? It means, can I get fat off different parts of my body by working that part? What a great question. So let's use a bit of common sense to start with. If I can get fat off my tummy by doing, say, crunches, then if I've got a fat chin, then I can do chin crunches and they'll get fat off my chin. If I've got fat ankles, I can do ankle crunches and that will get fat off my ankle. But what if I just do one ankle and not the other ankle? Well, I end up with a thin ankle and a fat ankle. If I have fat off the back of the arm, if I work this one and not this one, will I have a thin arm and then a fat arm? If I just do side bends this way, will that get fat off this side but not that side? It means I have a thin side and a fat side. Well, common sense is no, of course you can't. You don't have choice where you put fat on when you eat it. You don't eat a donut and go, hey, I want about that fat to go to my bicep. You don't have choice where you put fat on, so what makes you think you have choice where you take fat off? So fat comes off all over the body. We don't necessarily have a choice. It's like a pool, a swimming pool. You have a deep end and you have a shallow end. If I want to get water out of the deep end, if I go down the deep end of the bucket and start taking water out of the deep end, will that take water out of the deep end but not the shallow end? Of course not. It's going to take water out of both ends. So the whole water would come down in both shallow and deep ends. So in the body we have shallow ends and deep ends. For men, the deep end is the belly, and for women it tends to be the hips and the thighs. And the shallow end for the ladies might be up here. Means when I lose fat, I lose it in the shallow end up here and the deep end down here. So we don't have a choice where we take fat off. But if we do want to burn fat, we have to burn off energy, because fat is burnt off as energy, particularly in the aerobic energy system. It means we have to get huffy puffy. So if we're exercising that huffy puffy, we release the fat out of the 50 billion fat cells that we have all over our body. We release it into the vascular system, transported via the blood vessels down to the working muscles, and it will be oxidized off and then produced energy for those muscles. But the energy will come from all over my body and to be transported to the working site. It doesn't just burn the fat off around the working site, it burns the fat off all the stores of the fat all over my body. So when you're doing an exercise program, don't think that doing crunches is going to get fat off. All you're doing is squishing the fat and releasing the fat, squishing the fat and releasing the fat. It's not burning fat, because that type of activity, whether it be crunches or side leg raises or kickbacks to get fat off the back of your arm, that is an anaerobic exercise, meaning you're using glycogen as a source of energy, which means the byproduct that is lactic acid that builds up, pushes up against the nerve endings and gives that sensation of pain, which we misinterpret as exploding or oxidizing fat cells. All that is means you're burning sugar or glycogen as a source of energy. If you want to burn fat, you have to get puffed, and when you get puffed, you burn fat off all over your body, including your tummy, but also your arms and your legs and your calves and sometimes your face. And that would be no cow poo.